And welcome in for another edition of Drawing a Crowd, the business of sports tourism. Normally, along with myself, Stan the Fan of Pressbox and PressBoxOnline.com, is Terry Hazeltine, Executive Director of Maryland Sports. But in his place, in his stead today, is the President and CEO of the Maryland Five Star. It's Jeff Newman. Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here, Stan.
Okay. And along with us, we're very happy to have in here from the Maryland State House of Delegates, Kevin Hornberger from Cecil County. Kevin, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Stan. It's my pleasure to come here on Pressbox.
And we're excited to talk about the return, the reimagined Fair Hill races in just a moment.
Yes,
but
sir.
I do want to start with Jeff Newman and talk about the upcoming Five Star, which is now only, about 10 weeks away.
It's coming up fast and furious, but we're really excited about it. It's a unique year and a special year. It's our fifth edition, the fifth running of the Maryland Five Star at Fair Hill. Obviously want to thank our sponsors for helping with that, Mars and Brown Advisory, and of course Cecil County and the state of Maryland. And it's been a true team effort to get to where we are.
All right. Wanted to make one thing clear again this year. The Ravens do not play opposite on Sunday. Do you expect that will bring a few more people out on Sunday?
We hope so. I mean, it's pretty rare that happens. So obviously we want to, I guess lack of a better term, take advantage of the opportunity. Certainly football in October, certainly college football as well as pro football. There's a lot going on in October, you know, other sports as well, youth activities. So, in order for us to sort of make ourselves what we monitor is the place to be in October, having an off weekend helps us create more awareness.
All right. Let's talk about the excitement. And before I turn to Kevin, I'm going to ask you, how excited are you for the reimagined return of Fair Hill races?
Oh, really excited. And we're
coming August 30th this year.
August 30th, Labor Day weekend. It's going to be free to the public. This one's on us. People have waited very patiently for 6 years. Clearly, when the turf track was redone and finished in 2020, there was a pandemic that got in the way. But once that had been completed, it's always been our goal at the Sport and Entertainment Corporation of Maryland with Kevin and the Cecil County Breeders' Fair and the Cecil County government to bring back racing to Fair Hill. And obviously, there's been racing there for 85 years, and people have been waiting patiently. So this is a great opportunity to do so.
Kevin, I do want to bring you in now. How involved were you with the eventual return of racing to Fair Hills?
Yeah, so I was actually asked to be a member of the board of directors back in 2014, kind of a passive role. And after we had the shutdown and COVID and the track resurfacing, there came a need to sort of breathe new life into it and get it going again, especially after a few years of no running on the track. So that's really when I got in there, got my hands dirty, and started learning a lot more about the industry and the players, and working with Jeff. And it's taken us a little bit longer than expected, but it's well worth the wait. I mean, the track now is just amazing.
How excited are the people in the area in Cecil County to have the return of this one day of racing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give you an anecdote here. We put a lot of things on social media, so obviously elected official here, and we pushed this out, just an update of what was going on. It's one of the best traction posts that we've had in a long time. Largely because it's not something political. It's just a fun day that we miss dearly and want to come back. So it's generating a tremendous amount of buzz locally, and I think even now it's reaching out to the national crowd.
Jeff, we've been doing so much education, self-educating and trying to educate the public about the Five Star and eventing. This is very different than eventing. This is actually a day at the races.
Yeah, very simple. Come out and see a full day of racing on a beautiful turf track. Big credit to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, who've put in a ton of time and effort and energy to get it to where it is, and it's ready for racing. So just like the Preakness, it's a day of racing. You come out and you could bet, watch a day of racing, food, beverage, and just a good time with your family and friends.
I know that the Five Star just instituted the betting, the pari-mutuel betting this past year. Is back in the old days at Fair Hill races, was there pari-mutuel wagering?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
So we have a long history of pari-mutuel betting. Actually, if you look at steeplechase, this is a recent phenomenon. A lot of other states have only recently brought on betting for their
Right.
steeplechase events, so now it's sort of the norm, but we were doing it way before it was cool.
Right. Now, this is not steeplechase, though. This is pure just racing, correct?
So for this race, we will be doing flat track, no jumps, just to break in the track and make sure everything's on top of safety. But it is under the auspice of the National Steeplechase Association.
Okay.
Yep.
Will eventually, is the game plan to have as many as 6 or 8 of these days of racing, potentially?
Yeah, so in statute, we are actually granted 7 race days. That we have the ability to exercise everything from Arabians to jump race to flat track, and we want this to be a international venue for all those types of racing just mentioned on turf in Maryland and Cecil County. So
Okay.
yes, we want to go full bore here.
Now, tell us, in the day when it was racing regularly on Memorial Day weekend and occasionally on Labor Day weekend, what type of crowds would they be drawing at that time? Do you have any idea?
It was the largest outdoor event in Cecil County for the entire year, and it was not uncommon to have 20,000 people show
Really?
up for one day of racing. Yep.
Okay. And as far as getting there, are you using the same parking that you would use on 5-star for people that are used to coming out now for the 5-star?
Yeah, very similar parking plan. It's free.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a venue that's accustomed to large events. We have the Scottish Games there. We have our county fair there, which is a huge attendance. So this parcel, the special event zone, is no stranger to large crowds.
Now, with it being free the first year, as Jeff said, it's on us this time.
Right.
Do you expect it could exceed the high numbers in the past, the 20,000, or do you think it's going to take a while, Kevin, to get back, bring it back up to par?
I think we're going to shoot the middle.
Okay.
I think,
You'd
between
be
5
thrilled
and
with
10,000.
5 to 10,000
would be a great number. Obviously, we haven't had a tremendous amount of advertising. That's why we're out here doing the earned media.
Yep.
Getting that word out. And, we want everyone that's even somewhat interested to stop by, just because we know that next year it'll be even bigger.
Okay.
Yep.
And the date is August the 30th, and that is a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. And it starts at 11 a.m. and runs until the horses are exhausted. I mean, how many races is 11?
Yeah, so people could come at 11 a.m. and basically first come, first serve, find a spot on the lawn. Bring
Okay.
your blanket, bring your chairs, and come around and just be up along the railing. We'll start racing at 1 o'clock. We're looking at about 6 races. Still trying to work out the final card, but roughly about 8 horses per race.
Okay.
And then we look to finish up around 5 to 6 o'clock. Pretty much each race has a 40 to 45-minute interval in between each race. So, when you're watching the race, obviously you can bet and pay attention to that. But in between, we're going to have a lot of great activities, food and beverage, and just a chance for people to have a great family day on Labor Day.
Do we have a familiar voice doing the calling of the races?
Oh, we're still fighting over that.
Okay. All right.
But we'll have some fun surprises. And
All right.
Yep.
I think people are just there's been a lot of pent-up energy for this. When I first started running the Maryland 5-star at Fair Hill, people were like, this is great, but when's racing coming back? We'd get that every time. And so I think the people of Cecil County are really excited about it. We hope to draw regionally. But, this is certainly a chance to really test out the new turf track, learn from this first event, and then come back the following Memorial Day weekend with your traditional tailgating and other things like that.
Now, are these horses, Kevin, and maybe Jeff's the right one to ask that question too,
Sure.
are these horses that would be running at Delaware Park on the turf or at Laurel on the turf?
Yeah, they'll be thoroughbred horses.
Thoroughbred horses
Yeah, so
from the
this
tracks.
This
yeah.
is going to be professional top-line racing. It's going to be an incredible show. And what's unique about this is a long distance, right? Like these horses.
These are 1.5 miles to 2 miles?
These horses are going to be top of their field just because of the length of the track. So expect some incredible racing.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's one of the most beautiful turf tracks you'll see, and I think we're going to attract some of the best.
Okay. I'm interested in knowing, are some of the amenities that are present at the 5-star, the restaurants, concessions, shopping, are those things part of this? Music?
Yeah, there'll be live entertainment in terms of music. Like I said, there's downtime in between races. So primarily this will be food trucks, but we'll also have alcohol served through mobile units. And in addition to that, we will have a VIP hospitality for sponsors and partners. But again, this is more to learn the lay of the land, primarily focus on the competition, and then be able to learn what's best from this first event to bring back more of those activities in the future: retail, kids activities, more live entertainment, and tailgating and hospitality on a much bigger level of what people expect at steeplechase events.
And will both you and Kevin have separate golf carts to ride around in?
We might be together the whole time. It could be.
Yep.
Kevin, a political question.
Sure.
I know this doesn't seem like a political topic or a hot potato or anything,
Right.
but I'm curious. I can understand the enthusiasm for folks in Cecil County that wanted this, the return of this. Did you get a lot of cooperation within the House and Senate?
Yes, I did. Fun fact, I'm the only legislator down there in Annapolis that lives in Cecil County just because of the way the districts are laid out.
Okay.
So I'm always down there banging the drum. Cecil County is amazing. And just the overwhelming support that I've gotten for this parcel up in Fair Hill from all corners of the state has just been, to me, very humbling. Folks want us to be successful. They've actually appropriated funds for what goes on there at Fair Hill. This is the crown jewel property in the DNR portfolio from Maryland. It's over 5,000 acres. It's got all this diversity of use. So, we've invited all the legislators, obviously the governor's office, Board of Public Works. We want this to be a mini Preakness and have all those folks come there and celebrate it. It's really something amazing that the state possesses.
Usually when I talk 5-star, I'm with Kevin and Terry.
Right.
Now I've got somebody from the delegate, from the House of Delegates. Can you talk a little bit about the 5-star and what that's meant to the county and the economic development out there?
Yeah, it's been a huge. Originally, there was some apprehension about training facilities and 5-star and all this because it's just an unknown, right?
Yeah.
How do you describe a 5-star to someone?
It's
never
difficult to educate people.
It
on
is.
what
So,
it is.
we had to do a lot of door knocking and outreach and town halls in the community to say this is exactly what this looks like. There's only 7 of these in the world, right? And here's the other thing. If we don't choose these amazing events and this equine, based on the history of this parcel, it's going to sit empty, and we don't know what it's going to be in the future, right? Like, we can have a lot of control on this. It can be incredibly beneficial. Cecil County has the highest concentration of horses per capita in the state, right? It just makes sense to have all this activity there and have it give back money to the community. So that was an easy sell.
Have what Jeff and Terry and others accomplished, has it exceeded your expectations in such a short time, or is it on par with what you expected?
Say yes.
Yeah, it has, definitely, right? One thing us politicians are good at is having other people do the work, and then we try to take all the glory. That's just, I guess, what we do. But the effort that these guys have put in and the expertise, these are not easy events to coordinate, right? We're on a world stage now, and people are looking at us for guidance on how to, best practices, safety standards. So, it's been amazing. Just couldn't ask for better partners.
Along those lines, Jeff, we always talk about it. There's only 7 of these in the world. You're inside now. Is there a push for an 8th or a 9th venue for this, or is it sort of maxed out at this point?
That's a great question. I think it comes down to the availability of horses that can compete at a 5-star level, which is still very limited.
Okay.
And that's what makes it so exclusive. So I don't expect that, and nothing that I've heard in my day-to-day operation of the event that would, lead to that happening. But, for us, I think being part of 7 and only the 2nd in the United States, it's good to keep it exclusive. And I think that helps, the sport.
That's an interesting.
Very similar to Grand Slams in tennis or golf. You want to keep them very elite. And I think that's the intention right now.
Well, there's no question it's elite. It's coming up October 16th to the 19th, the Maryland 5-star at Fair Hill. Is there anything new and improved for 2025? Are there some new wrinkles?
Well, we're trying to use the event as a platform to showcase local activities. So we are partnering with the Fair Hill Nature Center to bring a 5K to the event, so that you can participate on this beautiful property on Sunday to highlight another portion of Fair Hill. We're also incorporating what's called the Real Rider Cup on Saturday, which is an event that supports aftercare for thoroughbred horses. And a lot of the thoroughbreds, once they're done racing, actually become very prominent eventing horses, because you can compete as an older horse in eventing, whereas racing is more meant for younger. So it's a great transition to showcase, the racing side combined with the eventing side, and how, again, we want more people across all equestrian disciplines to support racing and eventing, and this is a way to help do that. I think outside of that, what's new is consistency, actually. It took us about, 4 years to just figure out what's the best layout for the property and make sure that we're doing the best from customer service standpoint. So I think consistency is actually going to be a new thing this year, where people can expect to see a very similar layout and really just maximize the opportunity from there. So just like while we're doing this first event in August with racing, it is definitely to learn this new facility, the new special event zone that was created, so that we can, from a customer service and competition standpoint, really elevate it for the future events. So I think it's just so exciting to bring racing back to Fair Hill. I mean, just you talk to people on a daily basis, and their eyes light up when you talk about it, because it really has been part of their upbringing. It's been part of their childhood, and they spend their family time with it. And I just think it's a great opportunity for people to really see what Fair Hill's all about.
All right. Again, Maryland 5-star at Fair Hill, October 16th to the 19th. Thursday and Friday, dressage. Saturday, the cross-country.
Yes.
And Sunday, the show jumping on the 19th.
Yep.
August the 30th, it's the return, reimagined Fair Hill races.
The Renaissance.
Saturday, August the 30th. How soon after this will there be a second day? Do you think next Memorial Day is reasonable?
So most of the players that we've got involved here, we're looking at Memorial Day next year. Of course, obviously that's open to debate. We want to start fitting in with the schedule with the rest of the state, and actually the rest of the Eastern Seaboard, to maximize these dates and attendance. So stay tuned.
And just one point of clarification, that the event will be called the Races at Fair Hill.
The races at Fair Hill.
Very similar to
You want to drop that website?
And the website is racesatfairhill.com.
Okay.
It is a landing page currently. I want to thank Brown Advisory. They're actually our presenting sponsor, and we've also gotten great support from the local community and the business community. So, racesatfairhill.com for more information, and just keep checking on a daily basis. And August 30th will be here before you know it.
All right. The Races at Fair Hill on Saturday, August the 30th. Really exciting. Horses and riders, will they get jockeys that would normally be working at a Laurel or a Delaware? They're going to be...
Yeah, we're sourcing riders and horses from all over the state and from Fair Hill. There's training facilities there, so we'll have a local component as well. We want the best of the best.
Am I too old to ride?
Well, I think you might be a little too tall. I think age-wise, you'd be fine.
Age-wise.
There will be a significant amount of purse money, so there is
that.
Oh yeah, we're incentivizing heavily. Like I said, the best to come out and race. We want
that
to be
is
as
really
entertaining as
exciting.
possible. Yep.
Really exciting. All right, gentlemen, I really appreciate you both coming in. Jeff, you and I will talk more as we get closer to the 5-star.
Sure.
And Delegate Kevin Hornberger from Cecil County. We'll try and get you on again sometime before August 30th. All right.
Appreciate it. Yep.
That's going to do it for this edition of Drawing a Crowd, the Business of Sports Tourism. For Delegate Kevin Hornberger from Cecil County and Jeff Newman, the Executive Director of the Maryland 5-star event, I thank you very much. I'm Stan the Fan Charles, over and out.